Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to News in Motion. Today is March 1st. We are in the third month of 2023. It is March 1st, Wednesday, March 1st. It is also the start of Women's History Month. So, shout out to all the women in the world continuing to do amazing things as mothers, sisters, aunties, teachers, entrepreneurs, whatever you're doing in life. We see you and we are proud of you. As you're coming into the room, let us know where you're tuning in from, whether it's through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. If you're an audio podcast listener, we want to say thank you for tuning into our shows every morning. We just want to say, give our gratitude. With that being said, let's get this news in motion.
What's up, everyone? It's time for News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and I just want to say hello, March. Today is Wednesday. I had to think of what day it was. It is Wednesday, March the 1st, 2023. This is also Women's History Month as well, so we're going to have some fun with that. We had a great time through the series of Black History Month, how people want to put us in a box, but we all know that we are Black 365 days out of the year. But I just want to just say good morning to all of you. I see Hester Jackson rolling up in here, y'all. Yesterday was her birthday. So make sure you give Hester Jackson a shout out. Listen, we would love to know when your birthdays are ahead of time. So always feel free to DM us or email us or whatever and say, hey, I'm a regular viewer of News in Motion. My birthday is such and such a date, and we will be sure to shout you out. Y'all, I am your host, Gail Dudley, and I love what I do. Can I just stop for a moment and tell you that I love what I do? I absolutely love what I do. Y'all, this is also, since it's March 1st, this is our time to start our March membership under the Gail Dudley brand. We have a link that we're going to put up in there. I think it's in there now. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Yep, it's up there. If you look in the chat, the link is there to sign up. This is about content creation. This is about content writing and content planning. And I saw several of you already start buying. You're paying your $8 for this month's membership. And I'm sure when you saw the download, the March download, the PDF digital journal, 16 pages, I'm sure you was like, she gave us all of this. Yes, I did. So I'm just so excited to share that with you. I'm having fun with this. Jeffrey Allen James said his birthday is August the 20th. And you want me to remember that how many months ahead of time? I'm going to need you to send me that in a text message or a DM so I can remember. Deborah says, sign up so you don't miss all the valuable content. Good morning, Pastor Alex Williams. Good morning, Marion Jackson. I see you, Deborah Sneed. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. I see you, Patricia Lyles. Who else is in here? I see you, Shirley Nicholson. I see you, Adrian and Tanya from YouTube. What's up, Fred Jones? What's up, Patricia Lyles, Shirley Nicholson, Dr. Antoinette, Lori Wallace, Robert Holman. I did this in reverse today, and now I'm off kilter a little bit, but I see you all in here. So I just want to say good morning to you. Again, this is Women's History Month. I'm going to just name out women throughout this month, each day we come on. And today's name I want to give a shout out to is Latrice Jones. Latrice Jones is doing some phenomenal work. She's also back in school. I know she shared that with you all several weeks ago. She has a nonprofit organization dealing with autism. She also works a full-time job. She's a woman, she's a wife, she's a mother, and she's doing some amazing things. So on this Women's History Month, the first day, March the 1st, we want to give a shout out to Latrice Jones. Secondly, I'm so excited about this coming Friday's podcast on Politics and Prose. I was nervous to do this interview. I was able to interview, I think I shared with you all that I'll be interviewing because you all prayed for me, a New York Times bestseller. Her name is Lydia Finette. And this was the first book I read of hers. And I shared this book with so many people. The most powerful woman in the room is you. This book hit the charts and exceeded to number one for several weeks. She is amazing. She is an ambassador for Christie's auction house. Y'all, and I'm talking about she travels the world doing auctions. She has raised billions with B dollars in this auction house and what it is that she does day to day. So I had an opportunity to interview her. She will be on our podcast on Friday, and we were talking about her latest book. And if y'all see this, it says advanced copy. So I received an advanced copy of her book that comes out on March the 21st, and it's called Claiming Your Confidence. I will tell you this: I gave this book away as gifts to so many women and girls. I have a box of these books that I still give out to people just when people are having challenges or whatever. This book is a game changer, women. This book, and excuse all my notes, these were my notes when I was interviewing her. And I love it when authors say, "You actually read the book." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I read the book." And they were giving me insight that sometimes people just go and get some cliff notes and they go with it. Oh, no, I want to read and know what I'm talking about. So, y'all, go ahead. You can go on Barnes and Noble or Amazon and pre-order her book. It's called Claim Your Confidence. So, y'all, your girl right here, Gail Dudley, the host of News in Motion, interviewed a New York Times bestseller, and that was probably one of the most rewarding interviews that I've ever been able to sit on the other end and have a conversation. We had a great time, and that podcast will launch on this coming up Friday. And then next Friday, well, actually we're going to move it to Wednesday, the International Day of Women. On Wednesday, March the 8th, I have another New Yorker who's doing some amazing things in New York for women and girls. It's called Girls Right Now, and that's WRITE now. That's another one. I'm so excited. And then for this month on Politics and Prose, I'm interviewing a woman from India. Can y'all believe it? Y'all's girl is doing it. Y'all, I've been taking some risk. I've been reaching out there, reaching out to people. She's from India, so you have to really zone it. And it really helped me because I had to listen. When we're talking about listening, I had to listen because her accent was so heavy. But I loved the richness of our conversation, and you do not want to miss that. And then I also have another woman who's joining me, who is a publisher of a women's magazine, Hope Women's Magazine. Her name is Angela. That was outstanding as well. So, y'all, this month of content for Politics and Prose is through the roof, and I'm so, so excited. So, again, for all of you who were praying for me to do that interview last Thursday, that interview was amazing. Again, if you want to pre-order her book, again, she's a New York Times bestseller. It's called Claim Your Confidence. It comes out on March the 3rd. And in the book that's been out for a while, that I give this book to everybody I know, it's called The Most Powerful Woman in the Room Is You. So, and again, her name is Lydia Finette. So thank y'all for praying. So as we're going into March podcast, we want to also just remind everyone about the podcast, the Black History series we did last month. So we got some images we want to put up there. The most recent one was episode 8, Black Female Filmmakers. Y'all, that was amazing. People have written into us saying, gosh, you gave us a full workshop, a full webinar. People are reaching out to her. They've been reaching out to me. That was an outstanding podcast. We also had the week before that, episode 7, Stocks and Stilettos. That's financial objectives. And that was with Cassandra Cummings. That was also very informative. So if you have any questions, check that out. All you have to do is go to Politics and Prose with Gail Dudley. Download it, subscribe. You'll get them weekly. The week before that, we had episode 6, Evidence No One Could Ever Imagine. And that was with Frank Clay Jr. He comes on News in Motion every now and then. That was outstanding. That's his memoir. That's a book from him as well. a powerful book. You want to get that book. And then, of course, we kicked all this off with Pastor Derek Holmes when we were talking about Tyree Nichols, episode 5. Where do we go from here? So, y'all, this podcast, Politics and Prose, this transition we took, and I go back to Kim Edmondson's words. It's like the time is now, and so I took that leap, went forward, and it has been amazing. Anytime people start calling you to be on your podcast is saying something. Now, if I can just get the sponsors to come along with it. I see you, Judy Neal. I see you, Shardini. I see you, Lewis Prior to Third. I see you, Donita. I see you, Mike Nicholson. There's Latrice Jones. I just gave you the shout out for Women's History Month for March the 1st. Yes, girl, I highlighted you today. Y'all, she can return another number too, and we can return up with her as she turns that number. I see you, Tracy Burrs, and again, I see you, Kim Edmondson. She says, I need to catch up on the podcast. The podcasts have been fire. So again, y'all, our woman today to kick off Women's History Month is Latrice Jones. Again, she is a founder of a nonprofit that deals with autism. She is a woman, wife, mother. She has an amazing job. And y'all, she's back at school doing her thing, y'all. That girl's going to end up being Dr. Latrice Jones soon. So let's cheer her on. Let's pray for her as we're going through Women's History Month and beyond. I gave y'all the book, so let's get into some news. I see you, Devontae Goins. I see you. Y'all, I had to start the news off the way I did. But then when I get into the actual news, I have to go here. The royal rejection. Y'all, nobody wants to perform at King Charles's party. I'm sure his mother's probably flipping over in her grave. I can hear her now underneath all the soil and everything saying, now, Charles, what have you done, Charles? I told you to stay in your lane. I can hear her telling her son that. Anyway, y'all, May the 6th, the UK will officially crown Charles III as king and his wife, Lady Camilla, as queen consort. Y'all, the country hasn't had such a party since 1953. You know they about ready to turn up when Queen Elizabeth II was crowned. So the palace is ready to get their groove on. Unfortunately for Charles, it's been difficult to find musical acts willing to perform at his coronation concert. Adele said no. Ed Sheeran said no. Harry Styles said, not doing it. Elton John, come on, why'd y'all even reach out to Elton John? Now, you know his girl was Diana. He ain't going to do this for you. Even the Spice Girls, who he has been in videos with, said, nah, we're going to decline this invitation in joining these festivities. Y'all, the House of Windsor is scrambling, y'all, to find someone, anyone. Do you have any musical talent? You can just probably call it the House of Windsor and say, I'll come perform, and you put a price tag on it. But, you know, the headline of the royal affair is not looking good. So here's my question for all of you. Are these people who said, oh, no, you done thrown Meghan under the bus, Harry under the bus, so we're going to stay home? I want to hear your thoughts on this because, y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy how they're saying, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Kim Edmondson said everybody done turned him down. Now, although I'm dealing with international, I just want to flip the script a little bit, and I want to talk about the war between Russia and Ukraine. And I want to say to Putin, didn't you start this fight? Yeah, y'all. The Russian president yesterday ordered officials to increase security on the border of Ukraine as a flurry of drones flew into the southern and western Russia, including one that crashed 60 miles from Moscow. Yeah, that's what's happening. On the ground, the Ukrainian officials said conditions in the besieged eastern city, which once had a population of 75,000, were becoming more difficult as Russia tries to cut off Ukraine's supply routes. Yeah, that's what's happening. So Russia's saying, foul, you coming too close. Well, didn't you start it? What did you expect was going to happen? So you thought they were going to be gone. They still in the fight, and it's been a year. Now, y'all, this isn't good. And I want to share, I was actually a little sad about it. Y'all, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot loses bid for re-election. Yeah, so now it's going to be a runoff in April 4th for their mayor. But that happened, y'all. That happened. So there's a lot here that's going on. I want to stress again, every city, there's violence in every city right now. And a mayor, a chief of police, a governor can only do so much. So when we're thinking about voting for people, we got to get beyond these sound bites and beyond what they haven't done and focus on, well, what have they done? What have they accomplished? Now, some of the stuff that people are saying about Mayor Lightfoot, it's real, it's true. But what about the list and the pages of everything else she's done very well? When we start gearing up for voting for the general election in 2024, we need to stay mindful and steadfast and understand the dynamics when it comes to voting. We cannot just put people in there because they're like, hey, vote for me, and they have no experience whatsoever for that particular position. Yeah, y'all, the Supreme Court is showing their cards. That's what's happening. The majority seems to want to say no to President Joe Biden's plan to wipe away or reduce student loans held by millions of Americans. In an argument lasting more than 3 hours on yesterday, Chief Justice John Roberts led his conservative colleagues in questioning the administration's authority to broadly cancel federal student loans because of COVID-19 emergency. Now, the plan so far has been blocked by blackball, I should say that, blocked by Republican appointed judges on the lower courts. Now, it's not clear if the six, 6-3, 6 Republicans, 3 Democrat appointed judges. It's really interesting to see that the 6 justices appointed by Republican president would approve of the debt relief program, although Justices Kavanaugh and Barrett appeared most open. Now, if they stay that course, it could be 5-4. So it's going to be real interesting to see how all of this comes out. So we want to keep that going. Let me see. Tanya says, Gail, we love you. This month is to celebrate you as well. I know you don't like this. You know I don't. And you can get me later, but you have made and are making history as work so hard to mentor adults and youth during such a historic pandemic. I could go on, but I'm driving and using you better watch the road, girl, using my voice command. And we all know that voice command can accidentally translate incorrectly. From the bottom of my heart, in behalf of my daughter, Lexi, your high school ambassador, we acknowledge Gail Dudley, News in Motion. You are a blessing. Thank you so much, Tanya, for sharing that. So y'all, that's what's happening when it comes to this student loan debt relief. Now, I want to give you the press from the press office, and thank you, Devontae, for getting this to me so quickly because I could not find it. I could not locate it. Secretary Cardona statement following the Supreme Court oral arguments, and Secretary works under the Biden administration. They say today, U.S. Secretary of Education Cardona issued the following statement after the conclusion of oral arguments before the Supreme Court on the department's one-time student debt relief program. Today, the Biden-Harris administration mounted a powerful defense before the U.S. Supreme Court on our plan to provide targeted one-time student debt relief for more than 40 million working and middle-class Americans as they recover from the pandemic. The Department of Justice argued against a lawsuit aimed at denying relief to borrowers, made clear that challengers to the program lack standing to even bring their case to court, and explained the Department of Education's decade-old authority used by multiple administrations to protect borrowers from the effects of national emergencies. President Biden and Vice President Harris and I recognize how essential this relief is for tens of millions of Americans, and we are fighting to deliver much needed help to borrowers trying to get back on their feet after the economic crisis caused by the pandemic. The last paragraph. In addition to the one-time debt relief plan focused on the effects of the pandemic, we will continue to put the needs of students and borrowers ahead of special interests, hold colleges accountable for runaway costs and unaffordable debts, and pursue historic changes to student loan repayment that will cost cuts and reduce the crushing burden of students' debts for millions of working families. So y'all, that is the entire statement. Now, here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. All of us need to contact our representatives today. Our representatives in the House and the Senate. I believe we have numbers for both of those. If you can look up, I think we have those, Isaiah, look up Congress, look up Senate, There should be a phone number there. But if not, you can go and find those yourself. You can go to ballotpedia.org to get those as well. But you need to contact them and say, please use your voice to pass this student loan debt relief. I'll say it again. On yesterday, I shared with all of you that the PPP loans that people don't have to pay back, that was 800 billion with a B. The student loan debt relief is 430 billion. That is with a B. So if you can do PPP loans for many of the people who sit in the chamber, that's those who are House representatives or senators who receive the money and they don't have to pay back. They already get free insurance. They already get free this, that, and the other. Come on, you can't help with these people who are struggling with their loans. So we want to put that out there. And I also talked about the money that has been going to Ukraine, which we support here on News in Motion. That is in the billions as well. And I broke down the percentages of all of those funds on yesterday. So if you missed that, go back to yesterday's broadcast because they stay up. You can get all that information. Make sure you are educated on what you are saying and have a stance on how you are defending the student loan debt relief. So get out there, call your representatives. We don't have that number, but we'll make sure we'll get that number as soon as possible. Mike Nicholson says the whole explanation, but still went on. I love it. Hey, there it is. I got to give y'all all of it. You know what I mean? So anyway, y'all, Matt Gaetz is back in the news. He got shut down yesterday, and I saw it live on television by the Pentagon officials. He was trying to push the Chinese propaganda at a hearing. Yeah, y'all, Matt Gaetz, y'all know, Republican Florida. He's the one who caused all kinds of havoc on the House for the voteless speaker. He was shut down by the Pentagon official after trying to introduce Chinese propaganda as a credible source during a congressional hearing. Yeah, he got shut down. The Florida Republican introduced, y'all, get what he put out there on the table, trying to use as his proof. Ultra-nationalist Global Times tabloid during the hearing, and he argued for the U.S. to stop aiding Ukraine. Sit down, boy. Just sit down. Take 1,000 seats. Y'all, let's talk about banning. We've been talking about book banning, but we also have this TikTok ban. That's happening, y'all. NBC News is reporting the White House is giving government agencies 30 days to remove the Chinese-owned TikTok from federal devices over security concerns surrounding the video sharing app. Congress approved the ban back in December. Now, y'all, the news come at the concern that TikTok could be used by Beijing to collect individual private data. Yeah, Canada and the European Commission and Taiwan have recently made similar bans, and other Western countries, including Denmark, are considering implementing these bans. Now, ByteDance and company behind TikTok previously denied using the app to spy on Americans. However, there's been some intel that comes out that they're checking out everything. So they're also talking about this data, including the information that's being shared, are coming after people like me who gives journalistic views, relevant commentary, and so forth. So now I'm reconsidering my TikTok handle as well, because I've been putting out news on TikTok in a reel. After reading all this and uncovering a lot of this, it's a little concerning. Let me see what some of you are saying. I see Mike Nicholson. I see Shirley Nicholson. I see Tanya Williams. I see others. I can't go but so far back. Banning TikTok nationwide is next. I think it's coming. Rodessa says, Grand Rising, everyone. Y'all, I nominate Gail Dudley do Queen impression. Listen, she gone now, so I really can't do it so much now because I feel like, I'm disrespecting her. All right, y'all, also in the news, y'all, political. I got a whole stuff. We did. That's happening Tuesday, yesterday. Today is Wednesday, but the news keeps coming. Y'all, Anthony, I hope I say this right. Diaz Pachito was the first House Republican to call for George Santos' resignation. By the way, he's the first House Republican to call for George Santos' resignation. Now he is introducing the bill that will prevent George Santos from profiting off his campaign lies. Now, I just want to tell the representative, make sure you use all of his aliases name. His real name is Anthony DeVoyer. Don't forget that. So you want to write the bill to make sure all of his names are seen on here. So we can't say, well, that's not my name and still do it. Anyway, he is a fellow first-term House GOP member from New York. He started circulating a proposed bill text that would prevent members convicted of certain offenses from profiting off of books, deals, speech commissions, TV shows, and more. Hello, somebody. He said no, he should not be able to benefit from this. Nearly everything about George Santos' background has been called into question after all of these news stories detailed his lies, contradictions, and misleading comments he repeatedly made about his resume, ancestry, and education. Y'all, this is all on Politico and it's thebomb.com. And the idea that George Santos could leave office and profit off of that by a book, by a movie, by a contract, Lifetime television, you know, all that stuff, Hulu, you know, has privately percolated and annoyed his House GOP colleagues. Now, the move underscores the actual bad blood. There's some bad blood, y'all, among the New York Republicans, some who have called for George Santos to be expelled from Congress. I'm starting to believe he has not left because they're asking George Santos to resign. His real name is Anthony DeVoyer. Y'all need to start calling him by his real name and then put him out. That's all you have to do. It's really that simple. So right now, they're just all keeping their distance, but they're watching this. All right, y'all, let's move over to Mississippi. Let's go down south a little bit. Mississippi bans trans youth from seeking gender-affirming care. This is coming straight out of HuffPost. Y'all, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves signed a new law banning gender-affirming care for trans youth amid Republicans' attacks against the LGBTQ communities across the country. Sad, real sad. Governor Reeves said the legislation is meant, I want y'all to hear these words. This is a direct quote, meant to stop a dangerous movement. Really? You calling it a dangerous movement? These are human lives that you're talking about. It goes on to say Utah and South Dakota recently passed similar laws, and there's at least 150 bills targeting trans people have been introduced to the state houses so far this year. So y'all, let's just keep these people in prayer. These are human lives, and they're calling them dangerous movement. No. Again, y'all, when we vote, when we think about voting and we think about who we put into office, we need to think about everything. We need to think about everything. All right, y'all, then we get to Tennessee. I'm going to stay down south, y'all. Tennessee governor is about to sign a drag ban bill. However, I'm going to pause and say this. Know what you have done and know the pictures that are out there before you go signing a bill and talking about it, because they done found you out. They went back to 1977 to your yearbook and saw you in the yearbook dressed in drag. And so you gonna go sign a bill trying to say that you're banning drag? He's saying that he wants to sign a bill banning male or female impersonators from performing in public or any place a minor could appear or has been there. Appears, you know, they found it in 1977 yearbook that he's been wearing drag himself for a while. How you gonna sign a bill? Aren't you signing against yourself? So y'all, these are the things we have to do our research before we jump on the bandwagon of something. All right, y'all, I don't know if you drive a Nissan or not, and I'm about to wrap this up when we get to the inspirational message. But y'all, they don't have a fix yet, but they just want you to know about this. AP is reporting Nissan is recalling more than 809,000 small SUVs in the US and Canada because of a key problem, which can cause the ignition to shut off while you are driving the car. They don't have a fix yet, but they want you to keep, they just want you to know about it. So the recall covers certain models from 2014 through 2020. I don't see the model. I see just sports. I don't know which model it is. And also 2017 to 2022. We'll find that model and get that to you. Nissan says the SUVs have jackknife folding keys that may not stay fully open. And if driven and the key is partially folded, the driver could touch the fob, inadvertently turning off the engine, whether you're on the highway, driving down the street, in the parking lot, or wherever. They're saying this is pretty dangerous. They said that this can cause loss of engine power and power brakes, and the airbags might not inflate. What? Yeah, but they don't have a fix yet. They don't have a fix yet. The company says it's not aware of any major crashes or injuries caused by the problem. Yeah. So y'all, Nissan hasn't come up with the fix yet. We just want y'all to know. And I thought it was important for us to share it right here on News in Motion because I want you to know. We will find out the SUVs are talking about, but the model, is year 2014 to 2020, and then the sports model 2017 to 2022. So we'll get the model and make sure you have it all. But that's what's happening, y'all. All right, for our inspirational message, Latrice Jones said, "No, Nissan, Team Acura, Honda." I hear you, girl. I hear you. Mike Nicholson says, never drive a Nissan. The name don't even sound right. Leave it to Mike Nicholson. Dr. Antoinette said, just parked. What happened to the GOP being the party of less government? There's that. Thank you, Dr. Antoinette. So yeah. Jeffrey Allen James said they sell noodles in the store. Okay. Lori Wallace says, it might kill you, but keep driving. There's that. There's so much happening, y'all. So let me get to the inspirational message and we're out of here. We're actually on time today. Can y'all believe it? All right, y'all. Yesterday I talked about have a heart. And so today, Isaiah's going to pop that up there. He came up with the theme this morning, bread of life. So I want to thank Isaiah for that. Y'all, PBS NewsHour is reporting, and y'all know my love for making sure we are helping those who are food insecure. More than 30 million Americans who rely on SNAP benefits will lose their expanded food assistance today. It's happening today. That means at least $95 less per month for every household. That's $132 less per month on average for single people, and $197 less per month on average for a household of three. Y'all, the expanded benefits helped keep more than 4 million people out of poverty at the end of 2021. That's one of the studies that found that. Y'all know I'm digging all in through this. People who receive SNAP will get an average. I want y'all to hear this. As of today, they will get an average of $6.10 per day to buy food. Now, I don't know where you're going to go. Now, eggs have come down a little bit, but they're getting $6.10 per day to buy food. Now, you may think that's horrible. Well, I did not know until I read and dug into this yesterday. That's down by $9. So what? They were getting $13, $14. What was happening here per day? Think about what you buy and what you eat per day, and ask yourself, can you survive off of that? Yeah, Kim Edmondson, how sad. So on March 1st, the expanded food assistance benefits approved by Congress during the height of COVID-19 pandemic will expire. And they mad about, okay, let me keep going. Let me stay focused. Reducing food budget for millions of Americans. Those emergencies expanded allotments to the nation's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that's SNAP, were passed in March 2020 as part of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. By the end of last year, 17 states had already ended their emergency declarations and the expansion of assistance, followed by South Carolina. Now, the temporary boost will expire in the remaining 32 states, the District of Columbia, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, affecting more than 30 million Americans. 30 million Americans. So my inspirational message is bread of life. Are you hungry? Just think about the times that you are going throughout your day and you're like, man, I got to get something to eat. I'm hungry. And we have the privilege of being able to stop and get something to eat or go in our kitchens and go through our pantries and our refrigerator and find something. We even have the nerve at times to open up our refrigerator and see all the food and sit there and say, there's nothing in here or there's nothing I want to eat. So let me go and order something. Yeah, we do that. But yet 30 million people as of today will end up with $6.10 a day to eat. 30 million Americans. So my call to action today is that we really consider the people around us and make sure they have something to eat. Already food pantries are saying that they have lines this morning because this started today. And we're talking about Women's History Month. Let's be some women heroes today and throughout this month and take canned goods, donate money, whatever we need to make sure these 30 million people are fed. I'm going to go a step further. Out of these 30 million people, more than half are children who have to go into the classrooms to learn, but they lack comprehension because they're hungry, not because they cannot put 2 + 2 = 4. It's because they can't even comprehend what's going on because their stomachs are growling. They are hungry. They are extremely hungry. Deborah Sneed said, God is so good to us. We need to share the love. Kim Edmondson says, amen. Be a food hero. Patricia Lau says, that amount of money won't feed 2 children, and the price of food is so high. This is so sad. Hester Jackson says, $6.10. So we just eating eggs, no meat. Y'all, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. So we're in the middle of Lent. So on today, I'm asking us to do something that's going to make a difference. Today in Columbus, Ohio, the CEO from the Feed Project will be down at the Hyatt on Capitol Square. I plan on going down there just to ask questions if I can, to find out what's really going on. I didn't buy tickets, so hopefully my press pass will get me in the room. I don't need to eat. I just want to say, okay, how do we donate? How do we partner? How do we come alongside of you? Devontae, if you're still on here, we should go down there together as Black media to see what's happening. It starts at 12 noon. So we can go down there and get the information we need. But y'all, when you're shopping this week, if you're able to pack an extra bag and deliver it to your food pantry, because they're going to be in need. It starts today. So y'all, sorry to end on that note, but it was important to share that today because there are 30 million Americans hungry. And let me go a step further. When I was looking at some of the research on this, that's 30 million Americans who were using SNAP, who were not too proud to use SNAP. So take that times, they said take that and add about another 100,000 or more, minimum of 100,000 or more, who may not have shared with anyone that they're in need as well. All right, y'all. So that's today. Y'all know tomorrow is our Friday. It's y'all's Thursday, but it's our Friday. And we're going to use that day, myself, Isaiah, and Kenny Stanley, to have some fun. So we're going to lighten up the news on tomorrow to have some fun. But y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.
News in motion.